Hello guys, my name is Gavin, and I'll be showing you how to make this timer right here that we have in the middle, where once it reaches 5, the text will go down, and if you tap a button, it'll add more time, kind of like if you have like a time pickup or something. And if it reaches 0, it'll end the game. Alright, so I'm just gonna get started. So to start off, what we're gonna do is double click the A button, just select everything and hit X and delete. Hit 7 to go in the top view and do spacebar and then add a text object. I'll drag this off towards the middle. Let's then go from defaults to game logic and go from Blender render to Blender game. And on our text object, let's add a timer property right here. With this timer property, what we're going to do is rename it as timer. And let's add an always sensor. Let's add a spacebar sensor, or a keyboard sensor, sorry. I'll name it a space. I'll click tap and I'll put space right here. Let's then add a Python controller and connect these like this. Alright, let's then do templates, Python, and then game logic simple, like this. Delete everything on screen, or delete everything that I've highlighted, sorry. Hit control and scroll up to make your text larger. And let's rename this to scripts.py, like this. Add this right here and minimize this. What we're now going to do is going to put a variable time amount is going to be equal to 10, which will represent our overall seconds, minus the timer, so let's do own timer. Alright, what we're now going to do is have the variable time, like the last one, is going to be equal round, so time amount rounded to 1 decimal place. And now let's do own dot text is going to be equal to string and then time. So we should see that if we hit P, it's going to go down from 10 like this. What we're now going to do first is make it so that we can actually have it turn red once it reaches less than 5. So what we're going to do is have if, and actually let's have own, actually if, let's say time is less than or equal to 5, own.color is going to be equal to 1, 0, 0, true, which is red in Blender. So then have an else and have own.color is going to be equal to 0.8, 0.8, 0.8, true, which is kind of like the default gray or something in Blender, or white. So we should see if we hit play now, it'll turn red once it reaches 5. And right there. Okay? Let's now have it so that if we press the spacebar, it's going to add time, and we're going to make it so that it'll go up by 3 seconds. And so let's define that spacebar sensor at the top. Space is going to equal const.sensors space, like this. And I'll just have it right here on line 20. What we're going to do is have if space dot positive. We're going to have own timer going to minus equal, and then let's say 3 seconds. I'm going to set the color to, let's say, green. 0, 1, 0, true. And what you're wondering is, you know, if we press this, it's going to minus equal 3 seconds on the timer. And you may be wondering how it's actually going to add time. But remember that right here, it's really just doing time minus this number right here. And you know, so what's happening right here is this timer variable is steadily going up, and I'll show you what this is doing. So I'll hit the I and then game and then show debug properties. If I hit P, you see that the timer in the top left corner is going up from 0 all the way to 10. And if I hit the spacebar, you'll see it'll go down to 3. And you may be wondering if timer is like -10 as it is right now, how it's actually adding time. What it's actually doing is essentially this. If we subtract 3 from the timer, and let's say the timer is equal to 1 second at the moment, it'll then equal -2. And as you can see down here, this should be 10, but think of it as 10 right here. So 10 minus -2 is going to equal to 12. And if time is greater than 3, or let's say 4 in this case, it'll then equal to 1, in which 10 minus 1 is equal to 4, it's equal to 9. So you can kind of see you're actually just subtracting a negative right here, which is actually just adding time. So that's kind of how you can view it. So even though it's not even at 3 seconds yet, timer in the left corner is -4 at the moment, but there's still time greater than 10. I hope that makes sense. All right, and the last thing we're going to do is have it so that the game will quit if it reaches 0. So let's have if time is less than or equal to 0, let's do bg.logic.end game, like this. So if I hit P, we should see that I'm just going to let this run down to 0. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. All right, guys. I hope you found this useful. I'll show you this text just for one more second. And there you go.